Hello, so today we're going to discuss solving equations, and I will show you several examples with solving equations with one variable, multiplying, addition, subtraction, something that we already discussed. I think if I remember correctly, you did a pretty good job on that, so we will review. There are a couple steps that we have to remember to use. And before we begin with the actual equations examples, I want you to take a look of this first couple. So you're taking a trip with friends. The total distance you're traveling is 650 miles. Yesterday you traveled 283 miles. How much further do you have left to travel? Let x is the distance that is left to travel. So if we look at all those choices, A, B, C, D, I want you to think about which one of those will best describe your situation. So the total distance you travel is 65. When you have given total distance, I want you to look through each one of this equation and tell me which one of those has something equal to 650. Well, definitely the total will be this and this. This one doesn't have equal to 650. This one also doesn't have equal to 650. So when you're working with the MCA problems, I do need you to use the strategy of excluding some stuff. Because definitely, those two are not the best options. So now we have two to decide. If you traveled yesterday 283 miles, and the total is 650 miles. Are you going to add the miles that you're going to travel today, or you will multiply by the miles you're going to travel today? So think logically. In order to get 650, are we going to add today's miles plus yesterday's one, or we will multiply them? And I hope your answer we're going to add, because yes, yesterday miles 283 plus today's miles will give us total of 650, and that will be the best choice. Next one, you're arranging a soccer tournament. 225 players have signed up to play. How many 11 players team can you form? Let T is the number of teams. So in this case, if you have total of 225 players and one team has 11 players, are you going to subtract 225 minus 11 minus one team? Or you want to separate all those 225 kids into different teams? So think what operation will be the best one here. So let's take a look of another four choices. We have A, B, C, and D. So can we first, let's think again, what is equal to 225? So this one is equal to 225, this one is equal to 225, and this one is equal to. So C is what we can exclude right away. Now, let's think about, if each team has 11 players, are we going to add team plus 11 to get 225? No, this would not work. We can do that. So we're going to exclude this. Then we have 11 players times number of teams is equal to 225, one option. And the other option is 11 players divided by teams equals to 25. Well, I can't think about, teams that when I divide 11 by separate players will give me total of 225. This one, it just doesn't make sense. So the answer here will be 11t equals to 25. And if you divide by 11, both sides, you actually will get how many teams could be created with all those players. And again, if I'm using my calculator, I will let you know 225 divided by 11 will give us about 20 teams, maybe, approximately. Let's say 20 teams. All right, so next example, I want you to look over here. Those will be the actual equations. And how do we solve? How do we get variables? What they're equal to? Well, first thing, I want you always to draw a line. Write down the problem on a piece of paper, draw a line. So we are solving for y. Remember when we discussed those equations, I mentioned that if you're solving for the variable must be safe. You're not moving the variable, you're not doing anything with this variable. This variable stays safe. So what we need to do, we gotta move this to the other side of the equation. And the way to do that and get y itself is to write down the opposite operation of -4, which will be +4 plus 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. Those two cancel. Now we have only y itself equals to 7 plus 4 is 11. And we got the final answer. Another example like this. X divided by -2 equals 24. So if we have division here and we're looking for x, we want to calculate for x. Opposite of division will be multiplication. So we will multiply by -2 both sides of the equation. When we multiply and do the opposite, we will undo, we will cancel those, right? We cancel those and we will get only x itself is equal to 24 times -2 will be 48 with negative sign, -48. Final answer here for this problem. Okay, next one. 7q minus 4 equals 10. So this is one of the problems that we discussed and we called it two-steps equations because we got to do two things here. First thing, we're solving for q. We want to save q, but the number that needs to go away or move to the other side will be -4. Always number added or subtracted to the variable needs to go away first. So I'm going to say plus 4 here, plus 4 over here. -4 plus 4 cancel, and we have -q is equal to 10 plus 4 is 14. Now we need one more step because q is not itself. Q has number 7 here. So this is 7 times q. The opposite for this will be to divide by 7 each side. So both 7 cancels and q will be equal to 14 divided by 7 is 2. Final answer, q variable is equal to 2. Next example. So, -11 is equal to y divided by -2 minus 6. So great example when we're looking for y. And again, remember, number that is subtracted or added to needs to go first away. So the opposite of -6 will be plus 6 on each side. Those two cancel. -11 plus 6 is -5 equals to, what do we have here is y divided by -2. So how do we solve for y? What do we want to do here? This is division, so we're going to multiply by -2 both sides. And always remember, if you have to divide or multiply by negative number, you keep the negative sign for both sides, so those two cancel. We have only y left on the right, -2 minus 5, so this is not multiplication or anything like that. This is multiplication between two negative numbers, because it's multiplication here. So -2 times -5 will give us -10, and that will be, actually, is it -10? No, it will be +10. So that will be the final answer, and I want you again to focus on that. When we multiply two negative numbers, we multiply the numbers and we change to a positive sign. So good example of working with those positive and negative integers. Next example, number 6, we have 34 is equal to -2 minus 3x. So plus 2 on each side, -2 plus 2 cancel. We have 36 is equal to -3x. If there is a negative sign in front of the number, make sure you bring the negative sign. So we got to divide by -3 each side. Those two cancel. Only x is equal to 36 divided by -3 will be -12. Final answer for x variable. And the last example from today's video, x over 3 minus 7 equals 23. Okay, so another one that we're going to add 7 plus 7 to each side. Those two cancel. X over 3 is equal to 30. Okay, and we have division with the variable, so we will multiply by 3 both sides. 3 and 3 cancel. X equals 90 will be my final answer. Alright, well, that's it for today, and thank you for watching the video. We'll have more discussions in class. If you have questions, write them down and let me know if I can help. Thank you.